All right. All right. Sounds good. Looks like we are live.
Well, I'm excited tonight that Sam asked me to talk to you all about this topic. I am Laura Caruso. If you don't know me already, I have been a part of Beachbody for, I can't even, it gets to a point where you start to forget if it's like more than 5 years, but I wasn't always a coach. Like at first I just enjoyed the products, and then I signed up as a coach just for the discount. And then it took me a little bit to actually get going into coaching. And when I did, because I just had this apprehension about all of it, and just getting really honestly out of my comfort zone and realizing that this could be anything really in my life. And obviously it's grown from there. And that's kind of where my story starts with. Sam had asked me to talk to you all about, events and kind of my experience with them and just how they've impacted me and why, just the different events that I've gone to throughout the time I've been a coach. And it really started with whenever I did start coaching, the fact that I started in with a discount, and I was kind of afraid to share, I'd share, people ask me what I was doing, I'd share, some of that with them, but I wasn't all into coaching. I was more of those tiptoe by the water type of person. I'm going to dip my toe in and then I'm going to pull back. And if it's cold, I'm going to dip my toe in again. And that was kind of my get-go to it. And then that was like, I signed up for the discount in June and kind of started this whole, of this specific year, tiptoeing in and out of it. And it was the January of that, so 6 months later-ish, that I had learned about from my coach about these Super Saturday events. And again, in my head, this is what's going on in my head, is like, who goes to these type of things? I saw, because my first program was Insanity. And honestly, my husband and I used to laugh and crack up at the people that we saw at the end of the Insanity workout videos that were at this thing called Summit. We're like, this just looks like a bunch of crazy health and fitness people that are way over the top onto this, So this was my impression of it. And so my even thought of Super Saturday was, okay, this is going to be just way weird with people that are way over the top, and they're just going to love health and fitness, and they only eat salads, and this is my interpretation of it in my own head, not really having anything to base it off of, but this is what's happening. So I hesitantly looked up some Super Saturday events in my area, and I was living in Raleigh, North Carolina at the time, and there really wasn't, even though Raleigh's a city, there was not a big Raleigh event that I found, or that I felt that I would, go travel to be at somewhere with a lot of people, because I just really wasn't comfortable. I was still that dipping my toe in the water type of person. And I found this event that wasn't too far from me. And and what kind of got me onto this event is they were doing a workout together beforehand. And I'm not really that much into working out with a bunch of people either, but it was right when P90X3 was released. So it was that'd be kind of cool to experience this new workout that is just getting released with other people. And so I drove the 10 or 15 minutes to get there, still again, in my head, what am I putting myself into? Where am I going? And is this even what is this thing I'm doing? So I get there and do the workout, and everyone was honestly, they were so nice, and it was a great environment. And it wasn't really that part of it was not just for coaches. It was for kind of anybody in the community. And then the actual Super Saturday event only ended up being 5 to 10 people. So it was super, super small. If you've ever been to the Philly one or Pittsburgh or a different area, it was so small. These people, this husband and wife, decided to host this. And you can do that as a coach. You'll learn later on, or if you don't know already, that you can actually do Super Saturdays at your house. But they did this at this community center. And I sat there and listened to those 5 to 10 people in that room tell their stories about how they were impacted by these Beachbody programs and what turned them on to coaching. And I left there feeling so unbelievably committed to, I don't even know the word. Like, I was like, I left there and I went, my husband had my kids and my daughter's basketball game. And I left there and I was like, John, this is like, I can't even put it into words. This is something I feel like so committed to, because there was a guy there that, you know, he had a heart attack and what he had gone through and like how Beachbody had changed his life. And he shared his story, and somebody else that, you know, shared that she got into it with her daughter, shared their story. And I was like, this is just so much more than I can ever have wrapped my head around. This is something that I need to stay committed to. This is just like, there are no words. And so I left there feeling really empowered and really excited. And even though it was only 5 to 10 people that were at this like event, I was like, wow, this was worth every second of going there and getting out of my own comfort zone. And like I said, that was my first, like, really like putting my foot in the water. So right after that, then my coach says to me, she's like, well, there's this thing called Summit. And I was like, oh, I know Summit, that I see on the insanity videos with these crazy people in Vegas, that, you know, I'm like, that's, again, my head goes there. And she's like, I really, you know, I'm going to go. My coach says it's important to go. So, you know, I'm going to go, and I think you should go. And this is back when they had Summit in Vegas, because they've changed venues a couple of times. And Summit, I was, again, like, I was sorry, hold on. My husband unplugged my computer, and I have to replug it in. Hold on. I'm so sorry about that. I got the low battery going on, and I'm looking, and I'm like, we share a desk, and this is what happens. So anyway, she's like, yeah, I'm going to go. And I was like, I'm not going to spend, I was living in Raleigh, North Carolina, like making nothing as a coach at this time. Like I don't even know if I think I was barely Emerald. And I was like, I'm not going to spend all this money to fly out to Vegas to, you know, spend a couple $100 to go to Summit. This is just crazy. Like, I can't even imagine putting myself in this position. Again, I had barely put like a foot in the water. But somewhere deep inside of me, after that first event, that Super Saturday event, I was like, maybe I really should. Maybe I should just check this out. And I start reasoning in my head with it. It was actually Vegas, and it was a day before, the event started the day before my husband's and our anniversary. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I can like make it be like it's our anniversary trip with this just attached. You know, like I'm starting to reason things in my head, like so that I can even tell people, because I thought I was afraid that people would judge what I was doing and where I was going. And I mean, I know that's just not like, I mean, it's your business and you should, you know, and literally your life business, you shouldn't really care what other people think, but this is in my head what's happening. And so I was like, all right, well then again, like financially, how do I make this work? And my coach, I hadn't seen for at least a decade. Like I know her because we used to work together when we were like 20 years old in an Italian deli in our hometown area. And she's friends with my husband from high school. But I hadn't seen her in forever. And I was like, well, that's going to be weird. It's just us out there with them and we know nobody else. And so that's gone through my head too. But then I was like, okay, so affording this, like how am I going to afford this? So I start looking into options to fly there and decided to, okay, well, if you open a Southwest credit card, you can get there to Southwest. Like you can get all these points right up front if you spend XYZ. So I did it. I was like, all right, if I can, you know, make this work with Southwest, you know, like basically covering our flights because we start using this card. And, you know, I'm going to tell myself and tell everybody else as we're just wrapping this back into our anniversary. All right, I'll commit to doing this. And I did. And then this was months later so this is like February, and then we get there to June, and right before we're ready to go again, this is what I do with every event that we go to. I start talking myself out of it. Well, it's easier to stay home, right? You know, like I don't really need to go to this. And at this time, then Mindy Lawhorn, who is like an upline coach of all of ours, at Vegas, she was having this like booth out by the pool, like where she was having everybody kind of come together. It was like a cabana, you know, the day before the event. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to be around all these people in bathing suits. Are you kidding me? Like, this is not even happening. Like, really? All these people in bathing suits, and it's Mindy Lawhorn, and I don't even know who else, and they're going to be like Barbies. This is not even reality. Like, this can't happen. And I'm telling myself this, I'm telling John that, I'm like freaked out to no be, like about what's happening. And I'm still having this picture of everybody's me running out, super like abs and spandex and eating celery and carrots. And then we still go and we show up there. And it was just like it was a feeling like, I was like, what, I asked myself, what was I ever even worried about? Are you kidding me? Like, because everybody there was so unbelievably friendly. Everybody there did not have six-pack abs. Everybody there was just, they were people. They were human people that wanted to be there because they wanted to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They believed in the project or the products and the, purpose of it all. And they decided to commit to it. And they decided to make going to that event something that they did not, back down from no matter what. There were people there sharing multiple rooms. There was, a bunch of people that didn't really know each other share the room to afford it. There were a lot of different people that came from different avenues. And it was just this feeling of family, like right from the beginning. With Mindy and Lee are absolutely phenomenal with that feeling. And they really do from the get-go. You feel like you can talk to them about anything. They're open to you. They are not above you. They are really there with you. And so that was kind of my first experience with my first summit. And the truth is, of all that, like the six-pack abs and people running around in spandex and salads, and people were eating, I think I ate worse that weekend than I probably do normally at home. Burgers and fries and pizza. And my coach and I were like, this is really what this is about. Like, we were like not being healthy at all. I mean, normally, you try your best, but I was like, it was just such a misconceived notion that I had in my head that then the reality hit, and it was not that at all. And it was just people really believing in what this is. And going to that first event, that first summit, I have to say, and this is what I share with my coaches all the time, it is life-changing. It's a life-changing experience. If you've been to a summit, you know it is. If you haven't, you definitely need to experience it. It's not because you're just sitting there listening and not like doing just like these workouts and listening to just even top coaches, and what they share with you is great because success leaves clues, and they're like giving you those clues, and they're freely sharing what they do. They're not holding it back. They're like, this is what I've done to get here. But they also have these amazing, powerful speakers that they bring in that have nothing to do with Beachbody. And those first two on that first summit that I went to were Darren Hardy, the compound effect. He was a speaker at the summit I went to. And also Nadia, I can't remember her last name, but she's the lady who swam from Cuba to Florida. And her story, her overall story was amazingly powerful. So they bring in these people that just affect your life, not just, how you are as a coach, but like how you are as just a person. And then we had never experienced the whole like celebration, what happens at Summit. And that is where they're celebrating. They do it throughout, like celebrate coach successes and people's, their health successes. But that last big one is when they share those like top 5 stories of people and their health transformations. And I'm going to be honest about this. My husband went with me, and he didn't buy a ticket, that first one, because we were both like, still skeptic, or he was skeptics and I was a little less skeptical, but he was totally a skeptic. And so he's like, I'm just going to hang out and gamble and you can go do your thing. And so the last event though, I was like, you could come in here to these like speakers, the way it was set up there at the MGM Grand. So he agreed to come into the celebration event. And so he's sitting there listening to these health stories of people and their transformations. And he was one of those people that thought those before and afters are never the before and afters. He's like, they did something to those. Those can't be the same people. That does not look like the same person. That's what he would always tell me. That does not look like the same person. Can't be. And he sat there and listened to those people and what it had done for their lives. And saw the before and afters, saw them standing there, and heard those just dramatic things about, weight. The one that really got him was about a person that said that they were laying in bed. Basically, they were so unhealthy, waiting to die. Every day he thought his wife was going to find him like just dead. 2 little kids, and how his whole story of these programs and these products, and how now he's so excited to live. And that really got my husband. He was like, that is the moment my husband became like a believer. He's like, wow, is this powerful? And wow, is this amazing? What happens? And what, this is true. It's not just some kind of made up picture of a before and after. And then you also can see, at the summit, the celebration, they show the success stories of coaches. And it goes from like literally people that are like bankrupt living in their cars to the success they have now, and everywhere in between, because not everybody has to be bankrupt living in their car to be successful. But it was just really like a wow experience. And that was my first summit. And I can say that despite all my doubts, despite all my hesitations, just in my preconceived notions and not wanting to spend the money because I wasn't really making any money, it is something I would never regret. And I committed immediately for the next one. And, I found value in exactly what going to these type of events means. And so then the next one, we committed. And my sister-in-law, who is also like my teammate, co-CEO of our team, she wasn't there that time because my husband's a twin, and her husband was like, no, I don't think you should go. And she really kind of wanted to go. So she was like, after she heard about my experience there, she was like, never again will I miss one. Never again will I miss one. So at that moment, she committed. We bought tickets for Nashville because Nashville was the next one, and we were all in. And that is actually when I had my first experience with Sam in Nashville, her first summit. And it was one of those things, again, my husband didn't go actually to that one. And we decided, a couple of us, we split a room to make it cost effective. People drove just because it was like, it was a make it happen type of thing. It is that important. And then we went through all those events. And again, it was, powerful speakers, coach stories, success leaving clues, them telling us exactly what they're doing, these successful coaches, and just taking it all in and then applying it. And then this past summer was Nashville, times 2, the second one. And really then, I know some of you guys were there. It was, you can attest to it. I mean, it is something that you just have to experience. It's just, there are no words really, unless you just go experience it. And the feeling of being in that atmosphere of people that really just get you, get the purpose, get the mission, because there are so many people around us. And I'm sure you guys feel it too, that they don't get it. And they don't get what you're doing. They don't get even, things about, what's happening in your life. If it's friends, family, but you get around these people and it's just like a different type of family and friend atmosphere. And it just feels comfortable. So that is and the only other thing I kind of want to talk about as far as events and live events is the other thing that we've done, and I didn't know really about it. So after, my coach is like, oh yeah, come here to, Super Saturday. And I listened to her. And then, this whole summit thing. Then she's like, and by the way, there's this thing in Dallas called Platinum Edge. Like, Platinum what? I didn't know really a whole lot about what Platinum Edge was, or about the fact that we're a part of this community of people that are within Beachbody, that is called Platinum Presenters. And it's like our little division of the whole Beachbody family. It's like our more you got all these extended cousins and everybody else. This is more the grandma with more the specific downline of cousins and family. And that's what Platinum Presenters is about. Christine Dwyer is the great-great-grandma of us all, and she and her husband host this. And what is so fascinating about Platinum Presenter or Platinum Edge compared to Summit, because I thought, I was like, why do I want to spend money to go to Dallas? Other than my coach lived there, and I was like, well, I kind of want to see where you live. But why? I just spent this money to go Summit. Why am I going to spend additional money to go to another event? What's different about it, and why is this even going to be important? And it really was a completely different feel. And if people ask me, even, and people that have been to both, some of your teammates have, it's just different. It's like apples and oranges, and you can't really compare the two. Platinum Edge is just more quaint. It's more intimate. Everyone is under one roof the entire time, which is not necessarily the case in these summit situations. And you're under this, it's at the Gaylord, so everybody, you run into people, coaches, and it's just a smaller feel, and you still get really great value from coaches that are a part of Platinum presenters that are successful. And then they also bring in additional people in to speak that have nothing to do with Beachbody. Like Natalie Jill was one of the speakers, and she has her own fitness brand. But, she shared some things and tips and that were really helpful, and just some different people like that. And it basically why I do that one as well as Summit. I feel like the more, and as well as like the Super Saturdays, it's filling your cup. And in this business and with people, you're going to you're going to get in those slumps, and you need those moments. You need these events to fill your cup with people that are a part of this Beachbody community, that are part of your team. You get that team atmosphere, that connection, and it just brings you back up again, especially when you need it. I feel like every time I've gone to a live event, I've been in a slump, and it is exactly what I needed to basically come again and get the energy that you need to continue on with your mission to your why. And that's really why I think it's always valuable. So I hope that was helpful. Does anybody have any questions about like anything? Or Sam, do you have anything you want me to add?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now I can, yeah.
Okay, so when you said you had this like misconception of what it's going to be like going to like a Beachbody event or like to the cruise or to a thing, like we totally thought that too. And I think that's why it took Arlie going to like things for a long time, especially when we went to Jamaica. Like he just thought it was all these like ripped people working out 24 hours a day. And when we went there was people just like us, like, and not everybody was working out. People were drinking and like having fun. And, we met so many cool people. Obviously, like he bonded with you and Amy's husbands. And so that was really cool. So if you guys, Beachbody is so family oriented, and that's what I love about it. Like you see like dads holding babies and little dads and stuff while their moms are on stage speaking. Like I just think that's the coolest thing. And then the other thing I want to say is I went to Platinum Edge, and I think I shared this with I don't know who's on because I can't see, but I went to Platinum Edge when I was a month into coaching. I had no idea what I was doing. I was brand new, and I met Laura and Amy, her sister-in-law, and my coach for the first time. And I remember sitting there with not a big team at all, and they were like maybe like a year and a half, a little bit further than me. And I remember them talking about, oh, I have like a Zoom call with my team, or I have like a meeting with a coach or something. And I remember like almost like playing on my phone like I had something to do and I didn't even have a team. And I was like, oh my gosh, these people have it all together. Like I'm never going to get to that point. And like look at us now, and look at our team, and look how much it's grown. Like everybody, I don't know, like these conferences are the best because it's people just like you, and you're going to hear somebody that has your story, and you're going to like somehow connect with that person and see like, if it happened for them, it can happen for me. I have to tell you, like, when I first went to my first conference, I was so intimidated by you and Amy and Jamie, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to catch up to these girls.
Meanwhile, we were like, yeah, we're so far off of it. And that's how we felt about other people. So it's everybody is in their own stepping stone. Like you said, like that's how we felt. We were like, we're never going to be X, Y, Z. And then it's just, you get more comfortable, and it's consistency. And yeah, like I do remember that first meeting. We're like, hey, yeah, Steven's like, I've been here a month, a coach a month. But it's like, hey, we all crammed in that room. We didn't care. That's what's great. It's just like everyone's family.
Laura, can you explain a little bit more about the trips? Because I don't think anybody except for you and Sam have gone on the Success Club trips. Can you just speak to that for another minute or two, and then one more question?
So yeah, I'd love to. So the Success Club trip was last year. It was on a cruise, which I was all in because I love to cruise. But it really, it was great to earn money toward it as a coach, you know, that you were able to achieve certain, you know, if you achieve Success Club 5 or 10, depending on the month, or I mean, any Success Club, they'll pay you above 5, but in January, they pay you double dollars toward that trip. And it's changed a little bit in the qualifications this year and how it all happens. But that trip was unique in and of itself because, again, you put yourself, I mean, we were in a boat with like 6,000 coaches. And again, you think that you're going to be on there with all these people that are working out nonstop. And there are workouts, and they were like, great, because you got to be a part of that. Like, the celebrity trainers are right there. Tony Horton was inviting people to, like, just in general, he said, come meet me at the gym if you want to at a certain hour. And he was going to be there. So you could go work out with him if you wanted to. But a lot of the people, honestly, on that ship, I've cruised a lot. And it was really funny because we ate them out of apparently guacamole. And like they ran out of, I think, tequila by like the third day. I don't know. So anyway, it was like the people were enjoying themselves and having fun. And like Sam said, on these trips too, you can take children. Like, it's your choice. You don't have to disclude your kids if you don't have babysitters or whatever. It's a total personal choice. And there were a lot of kids on that ship. There were a lot of people that were just, you know, adults. And you don't have to be like at a certain, like necessarily, you know, so high in rank necessarily to be successful enough to qualify for those things or to earn money for them. I met a person on that cruise that I think she's still only 1 star, honestly. And they have like 10,000 people in the downline below her. Her husband used to work it, and a tragic story happened with him. And so she took that position, but just goes to show you it's consistency. It's not necessarily, you can be successful and you can go on those trips no matter what level you're at. It's just a matter of continuing to work at it.
Yeah, that's super true. Like, I am just diamond, you know, obviously I'm pushing for more, but I qualified for this one in Punta Cana and for next year Riviera Maya. So it just goes to show, if you're just consistently helping people, it doesn't matter if you're not necessarily rank advancing. As long as you're consistently helping people, then they're going to reward you for that, which is really cool. And that's something for me that me and my husband were both very skeptical about as well. We were like, okay, who really sends you on a free cruise or an all-inclusive vacation? Like, where's the fine print?
Exactly.
Like, we're laughing about it. Like, how is this real? And then hearing both you and Sam's stories about the actual trip, seeing the pictures, I was like, okay, gotta qualify for that. That looks awesome. So, and
absolutely.
Then the last thing I wanted to ask you too was, how do you feel like the live events have jump-started your business, or how have they affected your business in a more tangible way? Like, do you feel like you've had a surge after those?
I have had a surge when I have actually, there have been events that I've gone away from and then done nothing with information, and that hasn't been helpful. You know, it was good to get like the boost of energy from the people, but really the last couple of events, it's been really good to digest, like whether it's on the way home in the next couple of days after leaving an event, and honestly shut down and really capture things in notes, rewrite your notes, and then kind of game plan what to do with that information. Everybody does things differently, so you can't do everything you hear. And you have to take the bits and pieces that will work for you and your team and where you are as a coach, because we're not all at this, you know, you get different levels, you need different things. And if you can really just kind of digest them for a few days and then figure out a way to spew them back out in the bits and pieces that you need, and you're not going to use everything that you've ever had. And that's why I feel like I've gained so much knowledge that I can't possibly use it all, maybe even ever, but it's great that I know this stuff now. But it's the stuff that, even if I feel like if I go to an event and I take away one thing, then it was absolutely worth going, that I can implement. And so it has helped in those ways, just kind of refocus. Okay, this is something I can go and use now. And it's that taking that action that has been the jumpstart that I always need right when I go to those events, and then boosting up after. It's taking action.
Awesome.
Laura, can you quickly speak also on the trip that Amy's on right now?
Oh, yes. So Amy, my sister-in-law, who again is my partner in coaching, she is at this new leaders conference in Los Angeles. And this is something that when you advance to 2-star in a year, you get invited to this. And it's a very intimate, like super intimate trip. and you get access to like Carl Dickler's speech. You're in California. You get like celebrity trainers. You get like Melanie Mitra, I think, is there again. Sam and I went last year, and we literally like, I don't know if I would have went without Sam, but I'm still qualified at the same time. Again, because in my head, I don't like to go to my comfort zone, but talk myself off that like ledge and then just go. And it was a trip that you are just put with people that have goals, because obviously somebody to get to 2-star, they know they have some more invested in this, and they kind of have a higher goal going on. And they give you so much information to help you actually lead a team and they just spoil you. Like, honestly, you're spoiled. They just take care of and cater like lunches, and they have these like nice little cocktail dinner type of things. And so that's where my sister-in-law is right now. She just went today, and she took a picture tonight, and she was there a little bit early, and she was able to go walk on the Hollywood, with the stars, the Hollywood walk. And so it gives you a chance to experience that event, which again is a chance to surround yourself again with people that are just going to help you, push you, and get that information, that access to people that are successful, and they're willing to give you those cues and keys to success.
Totally. Yeah, that was such a fun trip. And there's, the higher up you get in rank, the more Beachbody is, I think, so great at just making you feel special. Even when you go to Summit and you're an Emerald coach or a Ruby coach or a Diamond coach, your name is up everywhere. Like, you'll see, your accomplishments. And then the higher up you go, the more trips you qualify for. So there's the new leader conference that Laura and I went to. And, you guys anybody can qualify for it for next year. And then when you get to 5-star and above, you can qualify for leadership, which is even more intimate and close. Like, Laura and I worked out with Tony Horton. I think there was like, I don't know, like maybe like 30 to 40 people in the room with Tony. So we got great pictures. We got to talk to like top coaches. Weren't like kind of, just trying to get a picture. You can actually have a conversation with them. So it's really, really cool. And it didn't take us like that long to get there. So it's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm. It's deciding just to go for those things. It's deciding if you want that, to just go for it and figure out how you're going to make it happen. I feel like every rank is a mindset. It's a decision. Because your brain starts to go there. As soon as you think like, okay, I want to be diamond, your brain's like, how am I going to, and not that you're pushing people, but you're like, who can I help? Who can I give to? Who can I pour into that this would be, helpful for them to also do this? And then you get there.
This is like so random, but like I just did my taxes today, and it's so crazy that my write-offs are these amazing, life-changing adventures and trips that I've gone on and met so many like amazing people. Like you have to experience it to just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm writing this off. It was the most enjoyable like trip of my life.
Right. I know, Los Angeles. I was like, Los Angeles, California. I got to write that off. What? That doesn't seem real, but it's true.
Yeah. I was never out of the country before I started this business. I never traveled at all. Laura knew. I was like, every time when I went to Dallas, I was like a nervous wreck getting off the plane.
Yes, you are. So, and look at you now. Look at the places you've been.
I know. Now it's exciting. Like, I actually like it. So, all right, Laura, thank you so much. I can't see, but if there's any other questions, but we appreciate you talking to us about it. You've been in the business, it flies by, but we're starting to become OGs in this business, and it's exciting, the places that we get to go to. So thank you so much for speaking on everything.
You're welcome. It was so great to see y'all, and thank you all for letting me come on and speak to y'all. Have a great night, guys.
All right, see you soon.